What's up, everybody? And by everybody, I mean, sure, probably nobody going to show it. I'm a little bit bored tonight, so I think I already started putting the motors on, and Dan did his little live stream, so it got me kind of inspired. I want to do one too. So I figured I would answer any questions and show some of the other frames, I guess, if you guys want to. But for the most part, I'm going to be building up the Skylla Hexacopter, or at least starting the build. I've already got the motors mounted and everything, and you'll have to pardon my desk. It's trashed right now. I got too many tools all over the place. Guess I should have thought about that before I started, huh? Get my nippers out of the way. That goes up there. All right. So, what I've got in front of me and what will come eventually in the kit. Scoop up these screws. All right. So let me point down here on the desk, see if you guys can see this. All right. So this is the Skylla Hexacopter frame. I wanted a little micro 3-inch frame that's fairly light, but still quite durable. A little bit. So this is the frame. As you can see, I've already got the motors mounted. So I went with, I don't know if you can see them, if I can get the camera to focus in on them here. See if I can adjust that so you can see it. There we go. All right, so I went with the FetTech motors. I wasn't very happy with the price of them, but the size, they had the size I needed and the kV that I needed. These are 1303. I'm not sure, you probably can't see that. They're 5555 kV, 5555. All right. Now the motor is very well constructed. It has a uni bell. All right. It does have a C-clip bottom. All right. It comes in these little cool little containers. And because I have 6 and I bought a spare, I have these. They hold screws pretty well. You see, I'm already using it to hold the screws for the top plate that I removed for the build. But this is the FetTech. All right. There's your model on the bottom. 1303.6, 5555 kV, 2 to 4S. I'm most likely going to be running it on 3S. I may go to 4S if I can find a right size battery for it. I'm looking for kind of a skinnier-ish battery, but what's up, Marcel? How you doing, buddy? So these are the FetTech motors. Another thing I liked about them is they come with about 5 inches of, about 4 inches at least of motor wire, which is adequate for my build. I am going to have to route 6 motors from various locations on this. Put this motor back away because I always purchase one extra motor whenever I buy something, or whenever I buy motors. It just to be safe. I know stuff goes out of stock quick, and I have had really horrible luck with things going out of stock when I need them. So I always make sure I have them available when I purchase. All right. Let's see. So I'm going to try to figure out the wire routing, and I'm going to use some zip ties here just for now. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to, that's wrong sides. But then I'm going to come back and make some wire savers for it. That'll fit on there pretty well. Sit this on my desk. I also wanted to see if I could, if these would fit on it once I got it all built up. Some 3-inch universal ducts. What's up, Oscar? How you doing, buddy? Just had a bag full of zip tie. I'll just use these for now. So these are here, and they're tiny enough, and I don't use them a whole lot because they're super bright green. Oh, and apparently I got a roly-poly crawled up in there. What's everybody doing tonight? Tuesday night? Nothing going on? It is Tuesday, right? Yeah, I gotta check. My days are all mixed up sometimes. All right, so for the Flywheel, move these off to the side here. So for the Flywheel stack, I've got 2 stacks here, and I don't run. So I had planned on people using the front stack for a Vista module, a DVR module, or RunCam module, like that. So I am going to put these wires on the, or sorry, the, is that the wrong stack? What the heck? Well, that's weird. My stack is not in this case for some reason. I know I pulled it off to show people on the show. I thought I put it back. Oh, here it is. All right. So this is the Flywheel. Here, I'll show you. It's the Flywheel Goku F745 Hex, 13 amp stack. All right. I chose these. Part of the reason I chose these FetTech motors is the amp draw for my application. Let's see if I can pull it up here. So the max amp draw was below, I think it was right at or right below the threshold of these. All right, so here, let me share my screen with you. So this is the spec sheet. If you go to Pyroflight or pyroflip.com, they have down in the lower left-hand corner, you can download the data sheet. And when you click download data sheet, it pulls up the PDF file. All right. So they are a 9N 2P configuration for magnets. All right. 13 diameter, 3.6 stator height. Shaft diameter is 1.5. Uses a 2mm shaft inside, which I like. Some of the companies that use a 1.5mm shaft all the way through, I've had shafts bend. The weight of the motor is 6.4 grams each. I did not verify that, but my target was 7 grams. So even if they're a little bit more, I'm okay with that. idle current, number of cells 2 to 4S, max power wattage 96 watts on 3S. So let me see here, 96 divided by, let's see, what's max 3S battery power? Anybody know off the top of your head? I keep forgetting. Okay, 12.6. Okay, so 12.6 equals. So it's saying we can on 3S that we can run about 7.6 amps. But it's actually saying here 8.6. So I'm not sure how accurate that is. Hopefully that's a little more reliable. So anyway, on this is what I was looking at here. So HQ3 by 2.5 by 3. Maximum amps these are going to pull on 3S is going to be 8.6. And we're going to have 274 grams of force. All right, at 95 watts of power. So our efficiency rating at 100% throttle is 2.8, which is actually not shabby for full throttle. At 50% throttle, we're looking at about 5 grams per watt of thrust. All right, 118 grams of lift. My frame, the Skylla frame, this is per motor, by the way, so we're going to multiply that by 6. The Skylla frame, it's like 720, I think. So 720 grams of lift. The Skylla frame itself is 73 or 76 grams, something like that. Hi, Geraldine. Geraldine's a friend of mine from Northern Virginia. This is a frame I designed, and I was just starting to assemble everything and talk about the stuff that I'm putting on it. Right, Marcel, right now I am streaming to Facebook, and I am also streaming to YouTube. Welcome to the show, Dan. How are you?
Hi, what are we up to? Oh, Fat Tech.
Yes, I was showing the spec data or the spec sheets. So
we all seem to be on a motor go today.
Well, well, I mean, I figured I'd talk about the motors and why I chose them for the build.
Well, that's a good idea. So, I didn't do a very good job of mine.
So I pulled up the spec sheet for the FetTech motors, which Pyroflip is so kind to put on their put a link to on their webpage. And so anyway, I was showing everybody is that running at on 3S. Now, granted, they're using 11 volts here for their 3S measurement. 100% throttle, it's going to pull about 8.6 grams each. This ESC will hold 13 amps. So I'm well within the spec for the ESC. Nice. At max, we're going to pull at about 274 grams of thrust, and at 50% throttle, we're going to pull about 118. So 118 times 6, we'll just say 120 times 6 is roughly 720 grams of thrust. As I was saying, the frame only weighs 76 grams. And if I put, let's see what it weighs with the motors. I know I'm not on a very level.
That's a 10-to-1 ratio, bro.
So I'm at 100 grams with 6 motors right now. I don't know. Here, let me turn it around so you guys can see it. I guess that's poor showmanship of me. And then my light overhead.
Still a 7-to-1 power to weight ratio.
And then and then when I put the Flywheel Stack on it, that's going to be 109 grams. I haven't decided what camera I was going to use. I really was thinking about putting a Runcam Split 3 Nano Whoop or Nano Whoop on it.
Yeah.
for some high def footage, but I don't have one on hand, so I'm gonna bypass the camera for now. But anyway, so I thought I'd give you that. So yeah, we're at a 9-to-1 thrust to weight ratio. That's at 50% throttle.
Yeah.
Okay. So this thing is going to be insane on these.
Are you going to put 4S?
I'm probably going to run mostly 3S. Now it says the motors will do 4S. And I'm confident it'll do 4S. So I'll probably swap back and forth between the two. I don't have any 4S batteries bigger than 450 though, that are smaller than 1500. So I'll have to find some 4S batteries. Anyway, so let's get the stack. So Flywheel comes with the stack screws, and it comes with some other things here. Try to get some wire.
Yours came with goodies? I don't know if mine did.
What the heck is this thing? Oh. Trying to figure out what the heck I got tangled all up in my soldering iron here. I still have to clean my desk. It's terrible if you guys saw it.
Mine literally came with an XT30 and a capacitor, and there's no screws, no nothing.
Really?
Yep.
That could be a disappointment. I haven't really dug into it too far, but I need to turn on my soldering iron here.
That's the way the cookie crumbles.
So mine came with stack screws, Mr. Dan. Came with stack screws. It came with the fancy Flywheel sticker. It came with the XT60 with 2 black wires, but they do have a little heat shrink red label on one. And it came with a pack of silica gel. Do not eat.
Interesting.
So mine did come with the stack screws. They were, like I said, it was just in a little plastic bag, and it came with a tiny capacitor. But the capacitor
You got yours from Flywheel, though, right?
Yes, this one here I got directly from Flywheel. I have
here's another reason why not to buy from RDQ.
So this is the one I got from RDQ, but I can looks like everything is in there. I can see this. I can see the standoff screws in the corner right there. But they're not in a bag. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not the standoff screws. That is the wires for the. Let me cut this one open, so just to make sure, because I did get this second one I got from RDQ as well. But you're right. I did order that first one directly from Flywheel as soon as I saw the Explorer. All right, flight controller and ESC are in there. I do have a bag, Dan.
You do?
Yep. I do have a bag.
What size? M2?
It's, M2 long. I'll have to measure the length here. But yeah, both of mine did have it. So
I have a bunch of M2s. Like, I have a full set. I don't mind, but
well, like I said, I have my handy dandy little measurement tool. That I printed off of Thingiverse.
Nice.
So I can measure those screws and see how long they are. Now I might not be able to use them. They might be too short because I'm going on 4 mil stack, and I think these are probably intended for 4 mil plate, and these are probably intended for 2. So I didn't even think about that, and I might have to find another set of. Set that down right there. May have to find another set of screws here.
You know, I'm doing my Gank Hexa. I'm doing it 5S, right?
No, you didn't say that. I know you were looking at motors, and one of the motors that you said they're 5S, but
yeah.
So these are M2 by 20, or sorry, M2 by 20, Dan.
Okay.
Yeah, M2 by 20. So let's see if I'm going to be able to use these or not.
Yeah, I ordered some more of the 1404 Airblade, the 6S Airblades.
Nice.
So
let me see if I have. I thought I had some M2 nuts. Yeah, I do. So I'm going to use some M2 nuts to hold this to the bottom plate, maybe. But actually, I probably shouldn't, because if I'm thinking they're going to be short. So let me just feed them through and have the grommets hold it. All right, so I want the ESC facing the correct direction, because I can route my wire kind of anywhere. There's plenty of room in this build, guys. Like, it's going to be absurd how much room there is. This, like I said, this was an insane thing. Dan knows. I am like Dan. We do like to do insane, crazy things sometimes, on occasion. And this was one of my insane, crazy things. And I showed it to Dan. And he says, "You got to make that, Matt." And I was like, "Okay." But actually, I think I'm not sure that is this a PG rated show? I don't think I did say this is for adults only, did I? The term that Dan used, is it okay for me to say it, Dan?
Sure.
Dan says, "I think I just came." But and my assumption was that was an expression he really liked it. But
is that a hexa in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
Or am I happy to see you?
Yeah. So
so I kind of don't like how tight that sits to the base plate, so I'm probably going to want to have some standoffs. So let me see if where is the FC? See how much space I have here. Header pins. That means I got my stack upside down. You know, one thing I didn't notice, Dan, is this Flywheel Stack has LEDs on the corners.
Yeah.
I did not notice that.
I noticed that yesterday, I think it was.
And also, I had it upside down because the header pin faces up.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense, because the silk screen motor labels are on the other side that I didn't notice before. Now it's going to be a pain in my butt trying to get them back on there. Do them one at a time again. And I probably am going to change that. I am going to change that ESC wire, because it is probably a little shorter than I would want to make it. All right, let's get that one out of there. Yeah, this one here, once I get the fitment done and the test done and I fly it, I'm going to open up the rest of the stock for purchase under the prototype provision. You realize this is a prototype, and
apparently all you have to do is put a disclaimer on your site, and you're legally off the hook.
Well, I mean, I planned to do that anyway.
I know.
You got to be kidding me.
What?
I just put it back on upside down. That's one of the things about using the slots for the 20 mil and 16 mil instead of individual holes, is that they sometimes, because the screws can slide around in there.
Yeah.
All right, so got that mounted. Let me switch back to the big view. I'm sure you guys don't want to stare at that motor thrust all day.
Motor thrust.
What's up, Mr. Star-Lord? How you doing, buddy? Haven't seen you in a while. Seen some of your posts out there.
What's up, Lord Quill?
Hey, Star-Lord, I might want a vinyl wrapper, a window cover for my car with the little Gank MultiRotors on it.
I might want a vinyl wrap for whatever new house I get. Just my entire logo, just right across the entire house.
Okay,
what do you think? Would that work?
I'm sure as long as the HOA doesn't complain. I know that the HOA that I used to be a part of would not allow that.
No self-promotion? Lame.
Yeah, well, yeah. They actually complained if you had a vehicle that had your company's name on it in the driveway. So.
Oh yeah. The place that I'm in right now.
Well, see, now this might actually. Yeah, a lot of neighborhoods have that. So this might actually be a good length. Or might have to cut some off actually. If I want to go out the back. But if I go out the back, that means I'm going to lose my antenna option there.
Well, you can always run the antenna parallel to it. I do that a lot. Like on the X8, I've got the antenna, the VTX antenna going right next to the XT60, and just.
Well, I could just leave a gap there.
Yeah.
Which I think I'm probably going to do. I should probably leave a gap in the print because I haven't designed the prints yet. So.
Wait, you've had it more than 10 minutes and you haven't designed the prints for it yet?
No, Dan, I'm sorry.
I'm confused.
Some of us work full-time jobs as well.
Does not compute.
So, I mean, out the back would be the definite shortest route.
Yeah.
But I think out the side might be a little better. Like next
Where
to
is the prop clearance the most safe, I guess?
Well, between one right in the middle of the top plate. Or just
why
forward.
not run it out there and then have the battery facing front? Because if you have the battery lead mostly connecting pointing up, there's a lot less chance that it'll get chopped up by the propellers. Whereas if you have it dangling out the back, with 6 props, it's just going to suck in that XT6 or XT30.
Well, I mean, I've got a lot of extra space behind the back. I guess I can run it. I'm going to run it under the FC because I want to space the FC up just a little higher. So maybe run it under the FC and then out that side, right next to that side post right there. Which means I'll have to make a new XT60, but that's no big deal. So that'll come out right there.
That's a pretty good spot, and you got that little spot there, the little cut there to zip tie it in if you need to.
So I'll do that. I do want to make it a little bit longer so it comes up a little bit more above the top plate than that. But
now, do you think that'll fit 3.5-inch props?
I'll have to pull up the drawing. I think I cut them big enough to where I could put a whoop duct around them, so possibly.
Ooh, whoop ducts is another fun idea.
I have some, remember?
Yeah, I know.
Kind of why I bought them.
They were the same ones that I used on George, weren't they? The HGLRC ones?
I have two different kinds. I've got the HGLRC ones, which have the thicker brim, and then I've got the I'm not sure who makes these, like Happy Model maybe or something, but it's a much thinner edge and they're clear.
Nice.
So I got a couple of different kinds, but you guys don't get to see me solder a XT60 today because I remembered I had these. So, and I need to get some water because my sponge is
now you have a long enough one that you can run it out right behind the camera right there, and you'll be good to go.
I can. That'll be a little bit weird having the power wire going all the way to the front and potentially under the HD camera VTX.
What could go wrong?
The other thing,
I'm just being sarcastic. Don't listen to me, everybody, please.
I might have to check at work tomorrow and see if I have some longer M2 screws because I was going to use the Unify Nano VTX that comes with the 20x20 board, and mount it on top of this 20x20 stack.
Well, you've got that whole other front section.
Yeah, but then I worry about how long is my SMA cable? Do I have one long enough to make it all the way to the back?
Now, here's a thought, because I was looking at that, and I'm worried about the weight at the back being minimal and then more weight being up at the front. So if you are to do that, I would actually put the stack in the front and then put the VTX and whatever camera board, whether it be like RunCam or whatever, in the back. And that way, it's 2 and 2.
So I kind of designed it. I mean, I can get a longer SMA cable. Like I said, I just won't be able to finish the build today, which now I noticed the screws are too short. I'm probably not going to be able to anyway. But so if you look at it, if you notice this stack is pretty much in line with your middle motors.
Yeah, and that's what I'm seeing.
Well, I kind of designed it that way because like I said, I assumed that someone was going to have a Vista up here, or a RunCam, or something like that. Now, and because one of these sets had to be lined up with some motors, so if you use the front set, it's not really. Yeah. It's going to make the offset a little bit weird, and I think the flight controller might have a little more trouble dealing with that as far as tuning goes.
You're right.
So, but that's kind of why I designed this along this motor axis. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So,
I'm just worried that the back motors are going to be working, or the front motors are going to be working harder than the rear motors due to the front weight.
I mean, the front weight isn't really. It depends on where you put the battery, right? So
it's
and I do have 2 locations for the battery. So if you're going to use a GoPro on a session on the front, we put the battery in the back to offset.
Yeah, but that's still in the middle. I'm thinking is what I'm probably going to end up doing with mine is I'm probably going to end up strapping a TBS Unify, not one of the Nanos, but one of the Pro 32s, onto the carbon at like with a sticky pad or whatever, but behind the actual stack where you have it right there, and that way it'll be adding a little bit of what's he doing? What's he doing?
That was my Tango 2 tumbling off my desk.
Oh, that's always a fun moment. So
I'll show you what I was thinking, Dan. And I think I've mentioned this to you before.
Yeah, probably.
But these are they're odd size, so it's going to be. But I'm thinking.
Oh, like yeah, dude. That's going to be wicked.
Right. 3S. 21700. Yeah, 42 amp So definitely going to have enough juice.
Yeah.
Even if I decide to do, if somebody wanted to do 2S, it's almost, well, if you're going to put a GoPro on it, you can't do it, but it's long enough for almost the packs, both packs. For 1860,
Yeah.
will definitely be long enough because they're 10 mils shorter.
You could theoretically do 4S, a long 4S like that, and be fine.
Or yeah, dude, like 2x2 like this and 2x2 up front.
Yeah.
But like I said, it overhangs the camera a little bit here, or overhangs the back a little bit. I suppose I could make that top plate longer. I've got room in the back.
Oh no, like I'm not worried about the design of it. I'm worried more just about the weight distribution. And if you're like, if you've got a Vista up there, you're gonna want something to balance it out towards the back. What I would do is I would strap the battery onto the back, right over where the stack is there, and I would overhang the battery off the back a little bit just to counter that weight. But then again, it is a hexacopter, so it's going to be able to balance a lot better than a quad would with bad CG.
Right. And I'm gonna work out the offset so we can program motor spacing offset too.
Like with my Hexa, I strapped a bunch of things to one side of it at one point. And though granted, mine's a lot bigger. It's a like 12-inch props or whatever. But it's it compensates for that very well as a Hexa. So without the CG, I don't like. I think I'm worrying for nothing because of the fact that that's going to counteract the CG issue anyways.
One thing I want you guys to notice is the dead cat-ish motor layout without dead cat-ing.
I call that the T-Rex layout.
I call that the Gank layout.
He's got little arms that can't quite reach his face.
So, but yeah, so this should be no props in view, guys. Like I said, look how far back. If you notice how far back those motors are spaced. All right, it's going to be a high def little ripper.
Yeah, dude.
And like I said, I am going to I did make the front. I specifically spaced this, and I do have carbon fiber cam plates for the side that will, once the prototype is, after the prototype's done, sorry, when I get the actual final revision frame, they'll have carbon fiber cutout. I forgot to send the file in the zip file with this frame. For some reason, it didn't make it in there. But yeah, so I think I am going to run the power cable to right here. And then that way, if you want to, or if I want to front mount or rear mount the battery, it should be able to work. And then I can make a little 3D printed hoop that fits over that to hold it. And then I'll run that to the back. So that's going to come up here. Right about there. Well, it's the wrong stack, so I'm going to have to grab a different wire, but and then right about there. To grab the battery lead wire and not the FC side.
Now, I have done that before. I've put the battery lead end on the drone and got it all ready to go and went to plug in and was like, oh, I'm an idiot.
All right, I got to grab some water for this soldering iron sponge and for my mouth.
So, everybody know any good jokes? Anybody? Good jokes.
So Dan, you will need M2x6 motor screws.
I got them.
Okay.
I have a whole big box of M2 different size screws.
All right, I was going to say, because this the 4 mil bottom plate, and then 2 mil or 2.5 mil into the motor. So.
Oh wow! Hold on, I just got an email about something.
Uh-oh.
No, it's good.
I was going to say, sometimes that means a crazy ex is saying some things.
No, that's just always the case.
What? Exes aren't crazy. All right, I'm going to go about the AFAR. All right. My soldering school instructor says don't do this. Twisting the lines is bad. And technically for soldering, it's not terrible. If you're doing crimping, you don't want to twist the lines for sure. Ah, shit. Just dropped my spring. Drop the little soldering iron holder.
Nice.
No, it's not. All right. So let's see how nasty my tip is from the last time I used this.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, not bad.
My issue isn't that I need a new copper wool.
Although this tip is probably a little bit fine. This is too fine for my XT, so now I got to find my little bag of tips. And my slaughtering iron, or slaughter. All right, so I've got a bag of interchangeable tips here for all different sizes. This very fine needle point is what I'm going to end up using for the motor wires and for everything else.
Yeah.
But for the XT30, I am going to use my number 2. Oh, sorry, number 2 right here. All right, so
what iron do you use?
I have a. It's just a digital soldering iron that I picked up from Amazon. It's some Chinese brand called Holife, HOLIFE. So, and again, you want to wait for this to cool down. I am not a role model, so do not do what I do. Listen to what I say. This is very hot, by the way.
Hey, Matt, Star-Lord's asking...
Don't do this if you don't have calluses on your fingers.
Yeah. Star-Lord's wondering where the stream is. Is it on your channel?
Oh, this is on my... It should be on my channel.
Yeah, okay.
Gank FPV.
Sure.
Yes, it's on my channel, and it's on my YouTube page, or sorry, my Facebook page as well. Ooh, that's hot. So
that's a spicy meatball.
Yeah.
I guess if I'm gonna work on this quad, I should probably take the props off, huh? Unless if we're touching soldering irons and we're playing that game, then maybe I shouldn't. Okay, I'll take the props off.
Oh, this one's going to be finicky and not want to go in for me. That's actually the wrong one. Yeah. There we go. Oh, and it just fell off. Like I said, again, don't do this unless you've got years of calluses. Ow.
Or you could just do it before plugging it in.
Or you could be smart and plan ahead. I mean,
that meme of the woman holding the soldering iron by the hot end tip just comes to mind right there.
Yeah, that used to be on an ITT enrollment ad. Or DeVry, one of the two.
Yeah, I remember that.
By the way, if you guys haven't seen it yet, there is the Nemesis HD Micro. A little water on it, but Nemesis HD Micro. Years. I should have done the swap over video for that instead of this. But anyway, and we're back warm again.
All right, let's see.
And this one hasn't been tinned in a while, so I'm going to re-tin it. And by the way, I'm using Kester. All right, it's the 6347.
I use the Wizotech 6040.
Boy, that tip is more clean, more clean. Oh, we got Star-Lord FPV now, too. All right.
Yay. That means he found it. I think he went onto our channel assuming it was our stream instead of yours.
Possibly, yeah.
Because he messaged me kind of like, where the hell's the stream, man? I was like, ours is on Sunday. I just randomly went live earlier today. All right.
Need my helper. So I'm not going to grab where I usually grab because there's LEDs there. And rotate, and rotate, and I don't have those fancy TPU rubber things that Dan has.
You mean my M3 spacers that I printed out of TPU and then just randomly shoved onto an alligator clip?
These wires are kind of thick. I don't know if I want to go under the FC with it. I might go out and have to go out the side. So,
all right, let's see. Where's my clippy clips?
And then set these up here. Can you guys see that? Nope. Okay, let me move that up so you can see it. All right. My little stand dude is old. I need to make a wider base for him. Or also get rid of my super wavy desk mat and replace it with my Gank FPV yoga mat. All right, so whenever I'm tinning leads, I always start from the bottom and then wait for the solder to wick into the top. So so heat it from the bottom, and I'll drop the solder just on the soldering iron. Get a longer wire so you can see. All right, and because wire is acts as a wick, should pull it all the way up to the top, and then you see it shine up on the top. The other thing I like to do is after I get that soldered up is I'll trim the tips down to the length that I want. I've actually got too much solder on that positive side there. Clean some of that off. All right. I always try to make it so you can kind of see the strands of the wire a little bit when you pre-tin, but you put solder in between them. I'm gonna go. All right. I'm gonna pre-tin these pads, and I'm trying to do this backwards so you guys can see what I'm doing. So I hope I don't knock something off because there's a couple of FETs right here. And also my LEDs and a couple capacitors, a transistor. Don't worry. You've got this. All right. Yeah, I think I might have to turn it around. And kind of unfortunately, you guys may not be able to see it, but I'd rather not fry my stack. All right. Make sure that pad's plenty hot. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Oh, too much. Come on. Shit. All right. My soldering iron missed my soldering tip, and I soldered too much. And as you can see, I ended up, because this has a hole on the pad, my solder ended up dropping through the hole. You can fix that by applying solder to heat to the top side of the pad, and it should fall back through. You'll just have to be careful when you go to solder that it doesn't drop out of the bottom as well again. All right. You have to add a little bit more there, but one of these days I'm going to set up an overhead cam.
Oh man, I did that with my Insta360 Go. It worked pretty well. Holy crap.
No, I lost track of which one's what. All right, minus is on this side. Let's see. Hold on a second here. I want to do something here. Just a sec. If you guys will Pardon my interruption. All right, y'all. All right, so sorry about that. That is done. All right, so now we got a good little bead there on both of those.
There we go.
And two, there we go. Oh, too much. All right, I don't like that at all. So, if I can find my... Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. All right. So, part of the reason I don't like through holes is because the solder has a tendency to wick through them.
Yeah.
So, but... Okay, Sarah. All right. I am going to trim off just a little bit of this. I don't like my wires to be more than 3/4 of the pad length. And you end up getting to where the wire sticks through the solder ball and it touches things. So I usually trim them down to about yay big.
You always got to trim down your balls, man, you know?
Yep. That's what she says.
Hey-oh.
Oh! Star-Lord, check your Facebook Messenger. All right. Come on, buddy. There we go. All right. Negatives on there. Woo!
I do not need these, Sam. I do not need these wires right now.
All right. So that's a bit warm on my finger. I'm going to tin my tip a little better this time before I go on there. That's no bueno. All right. I was afraid that was going to happen. Mainly because I don't know where my solder sucker is, because I had 3 different projects with the parts here spread out on my desk. Should be right here, dang it.
If S bus is TX or UART2, then is it safe to put? It's safe to put smart audio on UART1, right?
It depends. Sometimes UART1 has a dedicated inverter, which you can't use with smart audio, remember?
Yeah, that's only if it's S-Bus. The S-Bus is on 2 right now. So I'm wondering if 2 is that inverter. Like, I can run it... Dude, I've got like 8 UARTs on this board. I can put it really anywhere. Maybe I'm just not even going to run smart audio.
Blaspheme.
Blaspheme. I have like 3 rigs with smart audio on them.
That's
Man, now I need to find a... Oh, I should probably test this freaking camera first, huh? Oh, well. I'll just send it.
Hey, Dan.
Yo.
Do you recognize this?
Is that a little deuce?
That is. And it is...
It's a poopy cutout.
Nope. This is the prototype. I don't know if you can see it, but
oh,
it's
nice.
Pre-poopy cutout. But that one I actually had set up. I moved his little standoff camera thing to the back standoffs to increase the tilt for racing.
Yeah.
And it worked pretty good.
Nice.
Hey Dan, do we have that technology yet where you can pass me something through the live stream?
Well, I would need you to be on my left-hand side.
Oh, dang it, I'm on the right. Shit. Well, hello there, Mr. Dark Guest.
Of course he's dark. He's always dark.
Yeah, well, I was hoping it was just his camera that was dark and not his voice, too, but...
I'm just going to call him Darkwing Duck from now on.
Darkwing Duck.
So what are we all... What are you building, Matt?
I am building nothing right now because I'm looking for a solder sucker.
I'm building nothing right now because I'm doing something else, but I did just solder on a bunch of stuff.
All right, can you hear me now?
Hey!
Can you hear me now? Good.
What's going on, brother?
What's up, Darkwing Duck? How you doing?
Oh, boy. I'm sitting here watching Matt make mistake after mistake.
Yeah, that's why do you think I'm chaperoning?
Oh, wait. Hold on. Oh, what was that, Star-Lord? I can't hear you. It seems we lost sound again. What? Oh, dang
it. He's soldering through holes and blaming it on the holes.
That's right.
Well, you always got to blame it on holes.
I mean, I could too. I mean, for example, before I came in here, I was having trouble with my organic 3D printer. It was under extruding, so I had to increase the nozzle pressure. Then I had to pitch it out using the flush mechanism.
Did you say organic 3D printer?
Oh yeah.
I think he meant to
say, is it also like gluten-free and vegan?
I think he meant to say orgasmic.
Oh.
Well, I mean,
what do you mean by organic?
Yes, but
is it the one that like can print the live cell biome or whatever it is?
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's a live cell, but it is a brown cell.
Okay. Cool.
I am just dropping all kinds of breakable shit over here.
That's a lot cooler than a vegan 3D printer. How you been, Star-Lord? What you
dude, I've been good. Hey, by the way, can you hear me okay? I've got this new microphone that Snowball,
I call them
Snowball.
puff-puffs.
Yeah, the Snowball Ice microphone. It's got this little pop diffuser on it.
Nice. Yeah, I can hear you fine.
All right, I wasn't sure. I can't gauge these little volumes.
Matt's just old and can't hear well sometimes.
I understand that. I actually wonder if his beard is actually older than he is.
Nope, because I do have pictures of myself in the Navy without the beard.
So you got to go check out.
So I mean, that only means that your beard has visitation rights.
So go check out TJ's most recent video that he did with Flight Test. It's the one with the red plane that came out a couple of days ago. He was wearing a hat that is just a picture of a bearded guy with sunglasses, and it's just like a trucker hat. And my God, I was like, that's got to be TJ's new logo. Like, it has to be. Nope, apparently it's just a generic hat that he has like 6 of because he loves the logo.
Yeah, I've seen there's like a couple of guys that have a logo similar with the beard on it and whatnot.
And then Flybeard FPV has that logo too.
Aha! I have found it.
You found your sucker?
Found my father thucker.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Matt. You couldn't spring for the little strip of
I do, but this is much larger and easier to locate on my mess of a desk.
What's the diameter on that beast?
That's like an 8 gauge.
It's about 3 mil, roughly.
I'd say it's a 00 if you're going by earring size.
Oh God, I've known a couple of people with 00s.
I had 0. I didn't. No, I had like 0 to 2 gauge. I'm at like an 8 gauge or 6 or 8 gauge now, but my ears were pretty big, and it got to that point where I was just looking at them, going, yeah. There's a line. That's too big.
Yeah,
like And like I had a bunch of friends that had the big giant like stretched hoop pieces, and I was just like, look, I don't care enough to actually do that. Like I like the earrings, but it was getting to the point where like stretching it anymore would just deform my ear, and I was like, no, I'm good. Like
right.
I don't want to permanently deform anything. Like all right, now I guess I gotta wire in this camera and figure out if it works or not, or if it's gonna explode.
Now, Matt, describe this soldering iron you're using.
It's from 1952.
Well, I mean, from the looks of the tip, it looks like it's been used for at least that long.
Well, so this is an old tip. I do have newer tips over here that I should be using.
Well, I mean, I've got a lot of great tips, but I mean, to each their own.
I'm freaking just sitting here dying. Oh.
But I do love the technique. He's going all raw dog on this. We're going to go with a play-by-play. Look as he skips the flux.
So, like I said, I've said this before. I'll say it again. Do not do this without large calluses on your fingers. You do not. You do not hold the wire this close to the wire unless you have calluses on your fingers.
Don't tell me what to do. You're not my real dad.
And with those calluses, he could probably hold the raw copper core and run that out. Throw some calipers on those calluses.
I could probably hold the infinity stones if I held them with my 2 fingertips. To put it in something that you reference you might enjoy there, Star-Lord.
I actually have 2 of the Infinity Stones.
Nice.
You just need a couple more.
Well, I mean, I have the gauntlet, right? It comes in many different brands, large, extra large. What's the other one? Duramax.
There's shrimp. There's barbecue shrimp. There's shrimp on a cocktail. There's
shrimp and grits.
I think we're talking about different kinds of Infinity Gauntlet here.
Yeah. I was making a Forrest Gump reference. I like shrimp. I run a shrimping boat.
Yeah, I still have to this day yet to try the Bubba Gump shrimp.
I have never, shrimp can actually kill me, so I try and stay away from it these days.
Well, I mean, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So just like 1 shrimp a day.
Yeah. Tell that to the word anaphylaxis.
You know what? That's just you being a pussy.
It's
That's just your body telling you you're a pussy.
You didn't try hard enough. Now you got to start over.
Probably should have eaten more shellfish when you were a baby, buddy.
You know what it is? It's your parents smoked too much weed when they were pregnant with you.
You don't know my parents, do you?
No, I don't.
I mean, as far as I know, whiskey cures all kinds of problems.
See, I'm a vodka fan, so for me, it's
well, of course you would be.
Vodka. Well, I am from that area of Europe where it is quite popular, so my body handles it well. But it's nice and clean tasting usually if you get good stuff. And at the bar after the couple shots of good stuff, the well stuff doesn't taste bad. But it's all pretty much the same alcoholic content.
It's great the world we live in now. I love Mexican food, right? But that gigantic bottle of Tums next to me says otherwise.
Yeah, I learned that lesson last night. I was like, it was midnight or so. I was getting that craving, so I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna make a little plate of nachos, and I was super stoked about it. And when I ate them, I was super stoked about it. In the morning, spicy salsa and nachos was not a good plan.
What he means by super stoked is super baked.
Yeah, I
was super baked about it.
I just replaced stoked with stoned, and I get where he's coming from.
I got the munchies, man.
So Star-Lord, have you had a chance to work on the Express, the new revisions to the Express?
So I'll tell you what's been going on. Lately, I've actually been. I
know you just moved.
Unexpectedly forced to sell the house I was living in. Real talk for a second, and
right.
It's just been an entire life makeover up to this point. So right now I'm just kind of I was already kind of on sabbatical from all of this stuff, and just taking a momentary pause to regroup on my life and getting shit back together. But but now I've within a very short time span had to go hunt for a house, get financing for a house, and actually come up with down payment money for the house is kind of just set everything way back. But fortunately, things are starting to move along. I'm getting my my office space, kind of set up here. In fact, I got a sweet little deal here going on. I got my dual 29-inch monitors, wall mounted, of course. I got a nice big sweeping desk.
No webcam setup, obviously.
No, I do have a webcam, but it is not set up. But I will be having that set up here shortly. As soon as I get the 3D printer back into the office. Dan, I actually have your cutting board here sitting next to me.
Nice.
And,
Groot. Baby Groot.
Oh, yeah, I was Groot. Apparently it fell in the move transition, so I gotta throw some wood glue into the seams and bind that all back together.
Oh damn! I might have to make you a new one.
But I mean, what hell?
Maybe this one should be like Thanos or something.
But yeah, as soon as I get the 3D printer all set back up again, I have been staying active doing the Fusion 360 work, trying to keep my skills, as sharp as I could without being actually out there in the field, flying. I've noticed that the Dallas drone racing community has been heading up really strong. Matt, I'm sure you've been out to a couple of those events.
Yeah, not as many as I'd like to, but I've been to one this year and then one at the end of last year.
So that's probably 6 or 8 months worth of time that I haven't actually been out. But once I do get everything settled back in, because I'm also trying to help my sister work on her business as well. But as soon as everything settles down, I really want to get back in and hit things hard, and especially coming out with that new design that I was promising a couple months ago before all of this. Actually, it's been about 4 or 5 months now since I talked about that. That was before I knew I was needing to move.
I was gonna say, but you promised.
Yeah, I did promise. that was supposed to be something that was going to be taking up a good chunk of my time. But
you gotta do you, dude. That's
stranger.
It's just a thing with life. Shit just happens.
Well, I got all the beepy boops.
So I'm working through it, and it sounds like Matt didn't blow up his FC.
That wasn't me. That was Dan.
That was me.
I'm still like trying to temporarily route wires to the flight controller from my multitude of motors.
That thing is gonna be a nightmare in the sky.
It's gonna be fun, man. You know me. I like weird shit.
It's gonna be fast.
Yeah. At the very beginning of the video, I don't know if you caught it, but I was talking about the thrust numbers that these specs put out. What worked?
Go ahead. Sorry.
Hey, guys, just a quick question. I don't have an echo, do I?
No. Actually, sounds really good.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'm still trying to get used to this new microphone. I don't know how, if it's got front back sensitivity or anything like that. It's supposed to be a professional microphone.
Yeah, I've got one of those too.
Your voice does sound a bit deeper today, like you could be on radio.
I could be on radio.
I think you, Dan, and I all have voices for radio.
I was on radio earlier today.
For radio.
I was on Bluetooth radio in my car.
Nice.
Yeah. Pumping out the fat bass and disturbing the peace.
Yeah, I used to be an enjoyer of the bass. That was my hobby when I was in the Navy. Well, / side business was I I installed car stereo systems and designed custom speaker boxes for stereo competitions.
Yeah, it's funny. That's exactly what I was doing in high school. I was just taking any opportunity I could to, find my friends that were wanting a stereo installed and doing that, or running wires for new speakers, or installing subwoofers. Yeah, I could get it done super quick. So I became that, and
I used to turn off my amplifier when I would get close to my neighborhood because one, I didn't want to upset any neighbors, but two, I didn't want to alert any neighbors to a potential
car to steal.
Honeypot, yeah.
Yeah, being in my late 30s, and I'm still trying to disturb the peace.
Well, see, for me, I used, I don't mind disturbing the peace. It's my freaking brain doesn't handle the bass as much anymore. If I was to do it now, I would be more of an outside the car bass guy. I mean, I enjoy a really nice car stereo system now, but as far as sitting in the car and listening to it,
dude, frankly, I'm addicted to it. Having not had a proper stereo system, and you know how that works out when you're younger and you want all of these things, and you just don't have the capital to manage it, and then you get older and you start making a little bit of extra money and trying to relive all of those things that you wanted back in the day.
Well, see, I had kids, and I couldn't. That put that on hold, and then
Oh yeah, same here.
So now that I'm divorced, I can do that. Even though my number one choice would be cars, specifically fast-ish sleeper type cars. But
yeah, you'd be the type that would go with the Ford Taurus SHO or something like that.
Well, I mean, or drop a Subaru Impreza motor into a Volkswagen Bug or a Porsche motor.
I can see him being in an El Camino SS.
Dropping
I really couldn't
Cadillac V8 into the back of a Fiero, that kind of thing.
I couldn't see, Dan. I couldn't see Matt in an El Camino after meeting the dude, talking with the dude.
Not even one that plays La Cucaracha on the horn.
But but as he says, I would.
Yeah,
Matt, I would absolutely much rather see you in a Fiero with a V8.
Yes,
that would make my fucking year.
We need some Mad Max Matt.
So it used to be the funniest thing. A buddy of mine, Bill, in high school, he actually owned a Fiero. He had the V6 Fastback, 5-speed. And because back then we weren't wussies.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
And then, but it used to be funny because he was 6'5" and I was 6'4", and both of us were on the offensive line for our football team. To see both of us climbing out of his Fiero at the pool hall or the arcade or the movie theater wherever we were hanging out that night was just kind of a hilarious. And then my first car was a Volkswagen Scirocco.
Nice.
Oh God.
So yeah. That car was almost big enough for me to sit in.
So that was kind of a boon to your popularity, yeah.
Well, actually, the Volkswagen Scirocco was pretty badass. Everybody thought it was cool.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean.
But yeah, but after that, I had a souped-up Monte Carlo V6. Again, V6, but I built the engine, threw a custom cam in it, custom headers, dual straight pipes to glass packs. And my buddy Rick, his dad worked at GM, so I got a custom chip for it. So I had the arguably the baddest freaking Monte Carlo out on the street. Other than the couple that my buddy had I had two buddies that put big block freaking engines. One put a 427 and one put a 454 into their Montes.
So my first car was, and I'm talking about my first car that I fully owned, and I bought this before I was out of high school with my own cash, because I was also working at Walmart during the time, working in the bakery. God damn, that was awful.
They do good things.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely builds
Character.
character. No, calluses, as you referred to earlier. Yes.
We jumped the gun, Matt.
Calluses to your character. Yes. My first car that I owned outright was a 1979 Porsche 928.
Nice.
So, and I bought this as I wanted it to be a project car. But I also needed a daily driver. So I made that mistake, buying a project car as your daily driver. This car had so many problems. But it's one of those cars where you can walk up to a meet and somebody wants to race you. And you say, let's do 70 to 170. And they say, my car can't do 170. And so then I say, well, I guess I just won. It was, now granted, I've never taken that car up to 170, but I did take it up to about 145, 150 when I was there's this exclusive group called Renlist. Renlist is a group of Porsche enthusiasts. Very what's the right word, Dan? Uppity?
Yeah, yuppie.
Yeah, yuppie. Very
Close
yuppie.
though, yes.
So I showed
uppity is what I used to get with my mom when I was young, and we'll get my ass whooped.
Yeah.
Don't get uppity with mama.
So
whoop your ass.
So I did go to this meetup, which was great. It was here in Texas. So we had plenty of miles between destinations. Coolest fucking experience I've had as far as being out on the road. Was that you, Matt?
That was Dan.
I'm still slow.
I'm just making sure motors are spinning the right
Dan,
way.
You see this rat's nest, right?
Yeah. You know, I'm not paying attention to you.
Yeah, I'm not the focus of this video.
But I mean, we got on the road and we were.
It doesn't matter. I've got one person watching, and it's probably you, Star-Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. But I mean, great thing was we would get on the highway and out in the country roads. It was just a line of Porsche 928s, all different years. The 928 was canceled in the late 90s, I think. But recontinued in the Cayenne, same motor.
Okay.
But yeah, we would be going down the country roads doing 150, and all of the cars, and these were country roads, so all of the cars ahead of us would see this train of cars running at very high speed, and they would all just pull over to the side of the road and let us pass.
And
that was one of the coolest and just like kind of just chilling, even, I think you could say, like where they would just see this group of cars just barreling up to them, and then they would just pull over to the side of the road and let us all pass.
There's Impulse RC. Man, I can't believe this board was Flashpoint 4.0.1. It's like getting an F3 board in the mail, and you're like, "What was I going to use this for again?"
So, Matt, you're not even going to try the that Helio variant OS?
Emu?
Yeah.
I have it on a Helio AIO. So I have this is my my E-Mutiny.
You know,
I use Emu
with the OG Helio AIO board. And,
so Matt, you know those boards are essentially unicorns now.
Yes.
So I've got several of them.
I have 3 20x20s here in my hand. I have 2 AIOs. One of them is on a Martian, and I want to move it over. The other one is on a Mutiny. I have one on that's on an old Pyroflip Glide that's missing an ESC, but it's got the 20x20 on that one. I've got it on a Cerberus V3 Racer. And I think I might have it on 2 Cerberus V3s actually. So I've got a couple still. The one that I built into the E-Mutiny was brand new in a package, and yeah, I knew at the time that it was kind of a collector's item, but I wasn't going to try to.
So yeah, now I still have at least 5 or 6.
Well, I remember you putting that post out asking if anybody had one, you would buy it, and that's when everybody was kind of.
So somebody had a surplus, and I decided to buy as many of them as I could, which was about 6 at the time, 6 or 7, maybe more. I do know that I've got at least 5 or 6 of them here in the drawer, but I actually handed my my racer. Those solder joints look good. So I handed my my racer off to Vanover and let him take a stab at it. He said it was, he said that the feel of the flight was totally locked in.
The Express?
Yeah, with the Express. Actually, that was with the Katati. That was the smaller.
So I'm actually finally developing. Remember, I told you I had a vertical arm frame that I had started on, and I decided against it and all that.
Yeah.
So now that I've got a little, I have enough quads to kind of fill a lot of the niches. I might start with some weird shit. That's why I started this the Hex, right? So, but I actually think this Hex is going to be a great seller. And part of the reason I decided to jump on it right away was because I saw that Flywheel did this Hex 6-in-1 ESC. And I was like, oh, that's flipping perfect, man. And actually, I've got another drone, another Hex.
I mean, sometimes you do have to build around the components.
Yes,
right. And that's what I was kind of waiting for, because I didn't want to build it with 2 20x20s. And I was actually thinking about building it with 2 16x16s, but a lot of the 16x16s don't have solder points for the motor connections. They've got header pins, or, you know what I mean? They don't have connectors, because obviously a connector's bigger than the board. Stuff like that. So I really was holding off, kind of, just thinking that, yeah, it can wait. But as soon as I saw that 6-in-1 come out, there's the other side. As soon as I saw that 6-in-1 come out, I was like, oh, I've got to finish it. And then I showed it to Dan, and Dan was like, oh. So
what I was telling Dan earlier is Dan's our resident dronologist.
Yeah, he's been fiddling with them longer than
he is our drone historian, right? And Matt, you're the pseudo machinist.
The engineer.
Yeah, you're a type of engineer. You throw calipers on calipers to check the calipers calibration.
I've worked for a Japanese company for 23 years. QA is definitely QA, and as you can see here, my kind of attention to how I'm routing these wires is kind of important. So at least for me, I picked that up from the Japanese. A lot of Japanese I was one of the few people that when I first started in '97, there were very few Japanese workers in the United States, and the ones that were here had a poor impression of the American worker. And I was one of the few guys that I was complimented by my Japanese superiors as actually proving Americans can have good work ethic, that they're smart, they're not lazy, they're and I was like, oh, thank you.
So what I'm finding out is actually Trump knows more about drones than anyone.
Who? Trump? Did you say?
Yeah,
he knows more about everything than everybody.
That guy Trump, he apparently knows more about drones than anybody.
Nice. Does that mean he's going to fight for us for anti-drone laws then?
No, I don't think he's going to.
Just like Terrence Howard. Sorry, did I say that?
Well, actually, he's not in office anymore. So,
Dan.
Dear God, I said the loud part soft and the soft part loud.
Dan over here with Quentin Tarantino.
Let's see.
Dan, are you sure you're not the one drinking whiskey here in this conversation?
I haven't had a drink in about 6 years.
Well, good, because I had a drink about 6 seconds ago.
That a boy, Mr. Whiskey. I'm assuming it's whiskey because you keep bringing up whiskey.
No. Well, I mean, there was the whiskey, but then there was
the
beer.
one time.
I figured out the schematics, but I still can't figure out how to wire it all together.
The cue Dr. Nick from The Simpsons. Knee bone's connected to the leg bone. The leg bone's connected to the red thing. The red thing's connected to my wristwatch. Uh-oh.
Does anybody know where all of these different color wires attach?
Quick, can you show? Do you have a book on the Pang?
I tried to YouTube it, but apparently nobody's hooked up a nuclear bomb just yet. I'll get back to you
eventually.
Oh, there is an OSD disabled. Good. Thank you.
I was going to say there should be.
Yeah, I was sitting here going, why can I not find it? It was above where I thought it was.
I'm a fan of the OSD disable on smaller quads too.
This is a 5-inch, but yeah, okay.
You know, man, I'm glad you are willing to turn down LSD.
Wait. Where did you get that impression? I mean, yes, you're right. Drugs are bad, okay?
Okay.
Now, if you got a good source on mushrooms.
But if you know anybody.
Not that I can mention on stream.
I mean, those are organic, right?
Not that like a 3D printer.
Star-Lord, not that I can mention on stream.
Dude, I said text me later. Jeez.
Let's just say this is Texas and they grow wild in certain spots.
Hey, Matt, you did see that that etched glass that I was working on the other day, right?
I didn't see. Well, I saw. I think I saw
the little bottle.
Yeah, with the maple leaf on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
So what I'm finding out is that's actually for Willie Nelson.
Cool. Oh, like he asked y'all to do a custom piece for him specifically? Or somebody asked you to do a custom piece for him?
Like he is in the blockchain.
The blockchain, run away.
So I don't know yet that it is directly for that guy because my sales rep is somewhat cryptic about that.
Well, that's not helpful at all.
Is this for the guy? Or
well, it's like he's afraid you're gonna like send him your phone number or something.
Is this for the guy?
Yo, call me.
Somebody that knows the guy?
Willie!
Or is it for somebody that works for the guy? All I know it's for the guy.
Nice.
And then I get people messaging me. It's like, when did you start taking up pot? Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I've always been about the reefer, man.
Did you hear about the reefer, man?
It's a gas.
It's not smoke. It's water vapor.
Yes, exactly. No, technically.
So yeah, no, that was what that was apparently all about. I'm supporting the Willie man.
Sporting a Woody? What? Oh, Willie.
Yeah, I'm sporting a Woody.
That's a good T-shirt. I got a Willie for Woody, or a Woody for Willie.
Or you got a Willie for Woody.
No, I got it the other way around. That's if you're in love with Woody. That one would work good if you're in love with Woody Harrelson. I have a Willie for Woody.
Matt has a Willie for Woody.
and I've got a Woody for Willie.
Oh, well, I mean, you can have it both ways, actually.
I mean, Woody Harrelson's not bad, although he did lose a little bit of hair, but I mean,
Woody Harrelson, he's just a great guy all around, right?
He's no Matthew McConaughey, damn it.
Yeah, but I mean, he'd at least take you out for some soup. Maybe even Little Caesars if it was a good day.
Ooh,
Star-Lord's dream date.
If I can get that pan, I'm all about that pan, man.
If it's Star-Lord's dream date, Matthew McConaughey and a bowl of soup.
Oh yeah, damn! You got me pinned down.
Some ice, a buffalo, and a 9-iron, and you got him home run.
Absolutely.
Hey guys, smart audio to the TX or RX. Why do I always fucking forget that?
It's
try harder.
It would be RX, right?
All right. I'm sorry. What was the question? One more time.
Smart audio from the VTX goes to the RX pad, correct? Not the TX pad?
Smart audio is a transmission pad that is sending instruction. So you send smart audio.
Damn it.
You send smart audio to a receiving pad, and then you specify that it is smart audio, whether it's TBS smart audio or it is what was that plebeian version of smart audio?
I think you're backwards on that, Star-Lord. It goes to a TX pad.
Yeah. The flight controller transmits to the VTX.
Right. goes to a TX pad. I'm looking at like 4 different drawings, and they're all on TX.
Okay.
All right. So, anyways, smart audio goes to a receiving pad because it is receiving instruction, and everybody in the drone world is fucking high, thanks to people like Dan and Matt.
Don't look at me. I mean, I'm just reading diagrams off online.
You're the only viewer on YouTube, so you're the only one interested in this.
And you know what? My 1 down rating counts for 100%.
Yeah, thumbs down, automatic.
So even it's showing like the RunCam TX200 using TX, and yeah, all of them are using the TX.
All of them are
the
on
TX pad
okay.
on the FC side. That. Oh, Brian's still here. Jeez. What's up, Brian? Brian just took advantage. Brian, I believe,
Brian obviously doesn't have anything better to do.
15% off.
And neither do I.
I know. Like, I can't believe it's 11:40 right now.
You know what? Don't remind me.
12:40 here, so don't complain.
I have to work in the morning.
And Dan, you're in Florida. Nobody cares.
You're right.
You're in the
right.
you're in the dangling appendage of the United States.
Yeah.
You are also accurate in your assessment of that.
You're on one of the weird penis states.
We can say it. It's a flaccid penis.
It's a penis insula.
It's like the kid in the gym class that got
you know what, Matt?
that made fun of in the shower.
What's that?
The peninsula.
Penis insula.
Penis insula.
That just sounds like a sci-fi enemy or something.
That sounds like a new version of penicillin.
It sounds like I just contracted a virus, and I'm not sure I can find the cure for.
Well, we have to be careful what we say on the news because the U.S. Department of Health will be at your door demanding you take a test here.
Dan?
You caught a virus. It's one we haven't noticed yet.
Dan, you take that test because you're transmitting worldwide.
That's right.
One of our viewers.
I hope all of my viewers have masks on their speakers.
I actually do have a mask on my speaker.
There you go. A condom of sorts.
I mean, I try not to put my mouth all over the speaker.
Or the microphone?
Yeah, microphone.
They always look so yummy. Just saying.
Calm down, Dan.
I honestly don't think I could possibly be any calmer at this exact moment, to be honest.
As an audiophile, I would say that's accurate. Calm down, speakers around.
Yeah, calm down. Calm down. Now, I do got to say that you two are some of my few favorite people.
Oh,
thank you, sir.
You're definitely up there on that list too, buddy.
I mean, I like Elon Musk a little bit more than both of you.
Dude,
I like
brilliant.
Elon Musk more than me too.
I do too. Accurate. I like Elon Musk more than I like myself. I will safely say that on the air.
You know, I'm gonna say that if Elon Musk says I choose between Dan and going to Mars, I'm gonna say I've already got my space helmet, bitch.
Yeah, and but you 3D printed it, so it's not vacuum tight.
I mean, Dan's kind of famous. Have you seen his IMDb?
Dude, I still can't believe.
I mean, yeah, I heard Elon has a thing for actors.
Dude, I honestly still can't believe that Jake trolled me with that. I was blown away. I laughed so hard. It's like, wow, you dug a decade into my past, dude. That's awesome.
I am the man with no past, no present, and all the future.
So I want
to be the Elon Musk of the drone world.
Elon is gonna save us all.
And then he smoked pot with Joe Rogan, and it all turned to shit.
Well, I mean, to be honest, some of the ideas that he has are pretty freaking genius. Those solar roof tiles, I mean, fuck.
Dude, those actually took off. Like, he made so much money with those.
Well, no kidding. I mean,
he is.
That's me. Don't worry.
He is single-handedly funding his own escape from this world.
Yes.
Everything he does is to fund his escape.
You guys are screwing this planet up, and I'm leaving.
So, what does he do? He says, I'm going to create a worldwide internet service that is actually cheap and fast in every aspect of the world.
Except it's not cheap yet.
It was like $70, something like that.
Now, is there? I heard there's equipment. Well, obviously, equipment fees, but
I mean, you got to get a dish.
I'll tell you what.
It's not
when it's available. I'll probably end up having it out at my house.
So here's the why it's better than the already existing satellite grid. Is the satellite grid is currently geosynchronous. His is geo-orbital. So his mesh network is constantly orbiting. For the people that don't know that, which means it flies at a much lower altitude.
My hash network is always orbiting.
That's good.
Right?
My botnet is also orbiting.
My Aquanet sprayed in my 3D printer room.
If COVID goes any longer and my belly gets any bigger, my tools will be orbiting around me.
Winning.
Right? Just reach out and grab the one you want.
This is by far the most intriguing build video I've ever witnessed.
Yeah, I once took a shit while I was on a network.
Huh.
Yeah,
I don't think I can top that right now.
That's exactly how this build video becomes interesting.
That's the only way.
There you say?
Nobody gives a shit about this awesome little hex. They just want to see it fly. They don't want to see it.
Yeah, that's what everybody just wants. And so when I posted that little 2S whoop that I built today, I posted that up, and everybody was like, "You got flight video?" I was like, "No," because I just literally put the canopy on right now. Like, it's like
I know. I had people. I put out a post saying that this is a prototype. It's on my page saying it's a prototype, and I've got people, "How's it fly?" And I'm like, "Don't know yet. I just got it like 2 days ago."
That's when you got to.
So that's why I figured tonight.
Screenshot the dictionary definition of prototype.
Product in test, yeah.
Yeah.
But I figure I'll get the bottom, at least get the ESC solder out tonight. And damn, I trimmed that one. Hair too short. Holy shit.
So Matt, you heard that Russ Martin passed away.
No kidding? No, I did not hear that. I'm sorry.
You know Russ Martin, right?
From Dallas, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, he's like a radio hero. Now, apparently he had some demons after his home break-in, I guess you could say, where he was strapped to a chair.
Oh fuck! No, I'm sorry, that doesn't ring a bell.
No kidding.
But yeah, that's a little fucked up.
I mean, just brought it up because I'm going to take his place.
There we go.
I'm going to steal his thunder. No. Oh, crap. Did he actually get ESC tones?
I got the JESC tones popped up. So that means they flashed properly and everything.
Well, Matt, that means it flies. Just
well,
no, that's Dan. That's not mine yet. I'm still
building soldering. A 5-inch right now.
I have a few wires I have 18 wires to solder yet.
Matt?
Yep. What's up?
Holding it up. Get to work.
Yeah, I know. I got to find my hemostats here.
Hemostats. What about those calloused fingers?
Well, so my calloused fingers are very fat, and they tend to get in the way of my vision. So I use a skinny set of hemostats to grab wires.
So where are those ceramic hemostats?
I don't have any ceramic hemostats. I have stainless steel.
I know exactly what the elf on the shelf is going to get you.
Alrighty.
Matt, is that 6mm arms?
Sorry?
6mm arms?
This is a 3-inch, bud.
So 8mm arms.
It looks much. I'm sure you've heard this. It looks much bigger on video.
Well, I also have huge hands, but I mean, like that's my hand covering it.
Those fingers are thick.
So here it is in my hand.
Okay, so those are 3mm arms.
4mm base plate.
4mm.
And I might go to 3mm for the actual release because 4mm is very stiff. I'm fairly certain I should have ordered at least 1 and 3mm to test. But I think 3mm should be plenty. I found a wire I didn't tin. How did I do that? So many wires. And by the way, Star-Lord, I do have a sponge and a brass sponge. I wipe my the excess solder off on the sponge, and then I use the brass to clean it before I do the next joint.
Yeah, that's too little, too late, Matt.
I mean, if you want to see it, I can show it to you.
I don't even want to see it.
Look, it's right there. Look,
want to see it.
Look, and I'm running at the magic temperature.
I am not looking.
And look, it says whole life, whole life right there, whole life. 420, whole life.
I have muted my eyeballs.
Oh, dang it! Now I got my camera all out of position.
No, Matt, you are a sponge queen.
I like the sponge. I'm not gonna lie. But I do use the brass as well. And I do have braided wick. I prefer the solder sucker if I've got something touching a cap or something like that, because the wick sometimes sticks to components and pulls things off, and it requires more heat, which I don't like.
You know, I used a solder sucker once. It sucked up the whole component.
What?
Yeah. Of course, Matt, you've seen the micro soldering that I've done.
Some, yes, and the heat work.
Yeah, the with the reflow.
Yep.
So I made the mistake and lifted several surface mount capacitors.
What? Well, you don't need those.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was like, oh, well, they're just capacitors. They're just stabilizing the voltage. What harm could it do?
Right?
No, I'll tell you
it's like only losing one diode in a full bridge rectifier. It still works, right?
No, I'll tell you the most successful I've been with the SMD is replacing the gyro. The gyro replacement has been a 100% success.
Dave Andrews just sent me a video with his motorcycle completely in pieces.
Oh no! What? Oh, he's moving, isn't he?
Well, he's upgrading it for the. He said he's upgrading it for the riding season.
Nice.
Hey, Marcel Roberts actually going to join the Gank community.
Nice.
Matt.
Yes, sir.
Get on with the build.
Oh, sorry.
Stop dilly-dallying. You procrastinator.
I are.
Procrastination's like masturbation. You're only screwing yourself.
If you're playing with yourself and nobody else is enjoying it, it's probably masturbation.
Then you're on the city bus.
See, Dan gets it.
You right?
All right.
The thing with Dan is he's got a mullet that he's not wanting to admit to.
I have butt length hair.
I wouldn't admit to a mullet either.
Now a skullet, maybe.
Skullet. Is that like a skinhead on top or something? I don't know what that
it's
is.
Pretty much the Baraka from Street Fighter, where he's got the completely shaved head, but that patchy ponytail in the back. Hey, I finished a rig and it spins and does stuff.
Dan, I can see you out there in the field flying your DJI flame wheel.
I do love those.
You know.
Air just gusting in the wind like an Herbal Essence commercial.
Just, hey guys.
We call him Fabio FPV.
and everybody is just so enamored because it's the biggest drone in the bunch.
Dude, the video that Jake trolled him with, he looks like freaking Julian from Trailer Park.
I mean, I just imagine this big crowd around Dan, and he's got his big old 18-inch out there. He's like, you know, once you go black, you never go back.
Once you go carbon.
And meanwhile, I've got my 7-inch long-range drone with
It's not about size, Star-Lord. It's about the motion of the ocean.
I've got the Dragon Link, and I've got cell phone service to the drone, and
you got Dragon Link, nice. Oh, seriously.
And
I'm a fan of the Dragon Link.
But they're not interested in what I got it going on because it's not that big.
That's what she said.
Hey-o.
But we both get a mile out, and we see whose video signal is better.
I'm gonna go with Dragon Link.
Yeah.
Wait! You guys can make it to the end of your block? I'm confused here.
So I've converted our flagpole into an antenna mast.
Nice.
No, actually, it brings up a question. Has anybody ever actually considered doing a module extension up top above their house?
I have not.
Just to use it as a base station, and if it's way above the house, you're not going to run out of signal.
Well, line of sight's 50 miles, and that's dependent on the height of your antenna. So
I'm also going to break it by diving my drone into stuff on that tower, so it would be constant repair for me.
Well, I mean, you still have to keep it within line of sight. I did once.
Of whose site, though?
On long range.
Whose site? If my neighbor sees it, is that okay?
I actually used to fly the neighbor's yard as a course. Only when they were gone. But I'm sure there's been a few times where they were actually home. But they never said anything, which was great. Now, however, I did fly well clear across the neighborhood when I was running the 900 megahertz FR Sky module.
Yeah.
And going several miles out. Now this is I got really scared. All right, I've got this drone that I have probably $700 invested in. I'm somewhere far out, and I don't recognize the landscape.
I'm assuming you don't have GPS.
No, I did.
On OSE.
I did have the GPS, and the GPS did start to skits out on me because I started to get cocky and started doing like barrel rolls and power loops and shit.
Oh.
So it was a user error, not a hardware error.
Exactly. So I was starting to get really paranoid. And so the thing with Betaflight is when you're using GPS, it's based on the GPS information is trajectory based.
So you have to be moving?
So I would have to be flying in a certain direction for a given amount of time. So I did just that, and it turned out that direction I was heading kept going further and further away from me.
Well, you've only got a 25% chance that you're going to pick the wrong direction.
Right. So
the absolute wrong direction.
Going, and then I finally get this notification that oh no, I am in the opposite direction.
Welcome to Oklahoma. What?
From up from up high, everything looks the same. I did manage to get everything back, but not before shitting my pants. And
yeah, I think that'd freak me out too. I think
just at the same time, the mailman happened to be walking by.
As you were bringing it back, or trying to find out where you were.
As I was trying to turn around, and I just told him, "Dude, I am so preoccupied right now. Just set it on the ground. Just set it on the ground." I mean, he is our same mailman. He had delivered to our mailbox countless times before. But this time he sees me in the driveway. So he's trying to hand the mail directly to me.
Hey, you're like, dude, goggles.
Yeah, like he recognizes what the goggles are.
I'm not playing Pokemon Go right now.
Yeah, bro. Just set it. Dude, just literally toss it on the ground. I can't break my vision.
I'm literally like farther away than I should be.
So I did actually have one of my larger battery packs on there. So about 7 minutes into the flight, I was on my way back, but it was about to drop. Fortunately, I finally got towards the house where I started to recognize landmarks from the top, and vaguely knew where I was at. So I ended up actually landing in a neighborhood yard about like 2 blocks away.
Just because it was someplace you recognized and safe.
Well, I couldn't recognize exactly where I was at, but I did have that beeper alarm.
The Firefly thing.
It was like a knockoff of the Firefly. Yeah.
Okay.
So I had switched that on before I had dropped it down into the yard, and just as I was coming up on it, dude on a skateboard was riding by, and he was about to go pick it up.
About to go collect a free drone, he thought?
Yeah, exactly. So.
Well, I'm glad you recovered it.
Yeah, no, I was able to recover it, but I didn't do that shit again. But again, that was also on the FR Sky 900 megahertz system.
Okay, Star-Lord, you have to look. All my motor pads are done. I need to get my glasses on. 30. All 18 of them.
Now we're going to have to hope that those positive and negative leads are in proper polarity.
They are. I can look. Silk screening on the bottom. Plus. Minus. Black, red.
Did you wire up that XT30 on your own?
It was pre-wired. But red is on the positive side.
I did get a...
Are you positive?
Now, Matt, I did get...
So it looks like all of my beads, I got a couple of points on a couple of them, but nothing's bridging, nothing's touching.
I did get an entire batch where the red was on the opposite side.
I do check that. But
I did actually get a batch where the red was on the opposite side.
So yeah, that's that would be shitty.
All your caps would blow right away.
That's that one there.
Matt, we're gonna hang out soon, yeah?
Yes, sir. I am trying. I'm going to be trying to make it up to Dallas here for. Actually, I've got Grigorsky or whatever his name is messaged me and asked me if I could configure pit switch on my drones for the team race because they're short on people. I haven't raced in so long. I told him, I said, I'm fucking super slow, dude. Like, and I don't have pit switch. And I guess they don't have any response. So he's like, I'm checking all avenues right now. So.
Well, I mean, in the meantime, you're going to have to let me test fly one of your rigs.
Yeah, for sure, man. These,
But you know how crazy I get behind the wheel.
Well, you know I designed my shit to take a hit from me piloting, right? You've watched me race. You know how I race. It's more like pinball than racing.
Well, you've watched how I freestyle.
So you haven't seen here. Let me back up the camera for a second here. So you haven't seen all of the new designs, have you? You didn't make the show last night.
No, I haven't. Like I said, I've been excruciatingly busy.
So you've seen the Nemesis Micro, right? The 2.5 inch and 3 inch one.
That I did see.
Okay. So this is the Nemesis Micro HD, which has the room for the Vista. You can get it with 25 mil standoffs. It's got and the new arm protection or the arm design. So the new arm design is the same design that I have here on the Skylla. That is going to be my signature design. That's going on all my quads from here on out.
Very good. So that piece is going to be interchangeable.
Which piece?
The TPU cover.
Oh, I'm going to have different size. Yeah. Well, this TPU cover should work on the Skylla.
Yeah.
Yes. I actually I'll have to test. Actually, no, maybe not because I made it bigger for the freestyle than I did for the Skylla. But I will have foot protectors for the Skylla as well. But then I have the the Pixie 3 inch racer. You may have seen pictures of this online, probably with the pod, because I haven't taken many pictures with the carbon top plate. So that's
okay.
This is like 28 grams or something silly like that, 20 something grams. And then I just released this, which is the Pixie. This is the Pixie canopy and the Pixie bottom plate. And then you can see there's screw holes there. These are boomerang interchangeable arms, but this is a 4 inch racer.
And I gotta take off. I'm about to head up. I'm about to go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. What's that, Dan?
I'm just about to head to bed, man. I'll talk to you guys.
All right,
later.
man. Have a good night. Yeah, I'm probably not going to be on much longer either. But so this is the 4 inch Pixie.
So that's going to run on what, 750? 750 milliamp?
750 or 850, yeah. I've been running mine on 650s. So G&B 650s, they weigh the same as the 450s.
Yeah.
I also have the Skylla, which is, what I'm working on right now, the Hex, right? The 3 inch micro Hex. And then I have the OG Nemesis, right, with the recessed GoPro mounts. All right, 5mm arm.
See, I think that's a great idea to bring that camera mount down into the body rather than being outside of the body as an afterthought.
Well, right, and my thing was even though it's not recessed a whole lot, but this having the carbon plates on the side of it to help protect your camera a ton.
Right.
And I made it to where you can still access the cover plate, the release for the charging and for the SD card without removing your GoPro.
Yeah.
Now this was designed by me in 2017. This was the one that was originally released on Flying Officer's website. So I brought this back because I had a couple of people say they wish they'd seen pictures of it and they wish they had a chance to buy it back then. So I did a run of 10 just to check the fitment because I've got a lot of screw holes and I resized all the screw holes for this cutter. They were all optimized for Flywheel cutter, so I optimized them for mine. And this is the OG, my first quad design, full quad design. Squish stacks, 5mm arms, offset bottom plate. You can see that the bottom plate sits on top of the arms and the top plate sits on the bottom. 3mm bottom plate, 3mm top plate. This back plate back here, because all it holds is like usually is a VTX or like a DJI unit. That's 2 mil on the bottom. Partially because I need 18 mil screws, and if I change that to a 3 mil, I'll need 17 mil screws, which are even harder to find than the 18 mil.
So Matt, we'll have to do a collaboration on a quick release arm.
A quick release what?
Quick release arm in a vertical frame design.
Oh, that'll be interesting. So yeah, mine is definitely not quick release.
I mean, it's something to think about. So So what people are not. So a lot of the designers out there are not considering a 3D print as an alternative to a build structure. So now if you have a 3D print that is reinforced carbon, nylon reinforced carbon or something like that.
So
maybe we can make something work.
Well, so my friend Terry has gotten really good at printing Nylon X.
And Nylon X is one of those brands that is a 3D carbon reinforced
nylon
print material.
Yes. Yeah, that's why I brought it up, because you had mentioned that. So, he's got a printer that prints it really well. I haven't tried it yet because I don't have like the ruby nozzle or even a hardened steel nozzle on mine yet. So, and it is very, very abrasive.
Yeah, so I've got the hardened steel nozzle. So I'm wanting to test a couple of theories out. But the problem I'm running into is with racers themselves. Is they want something that is a fast change option. If they break something, they want to be able to swap it out then and there. Like within, you know how our breaks go. They're about 15 minutes.
Yep. Maybe
15 minutes, exactly. Sometimes it could be as little as 5 minutes.
Dallas runs an efficient freaking race up there with Jay and Kevin. So
yeah, those races are about 5 minutes between heats.
Yeah, especially when you get to the finals or towards the end of the day.
So what I want to do is come up with a vertical design. This was something that I'd started working on. But being able to change those pieces out when they break. Obviously having a flex point. If there's no flex point, then... So the flex point is going to be the 3D printed part.
Right, and it's kind of flex point, right? It's because that carbon nylon's pretty stiff, so... Especially if you print it 100% infill.
It is going to be more durable still than the solid carbon fiber part.
Okay, guys. So not to interrupt you there, Star-Lord, but this is the wire routing that I've gone with. All right. You can see it's all pretty much tucked in a way. cleaned up, I will be printing some wire savers to go over these areas here in the back. These long runs, I need to design them. And then these long runs in the front, I will have one long wire saver that goes for those. Again, I do recommend, if you guys build this, when you guys build this, to put the flight controller in the back. As you can see, I kind of, man, that camera's way close. As you can see, I kind of centered this flight controller in line with the middle motors. All right, so it'll make it much easier to tune. I will not be testing it in the front holes yet. Maybe Dan or somebody else will do that. But like I said, I designed it to go in the back and for the front to house your Vista or a RunCam split or a Boxier mix or Cadix Tarsier or whatever you guys want to throw in there. All right. It'll fit 20 by 20, 16 by 16, or Whoop Stack in the front as well. All right. And again, I'll have the carbon fiber cam plates. But so far, this is, here we go. Let me get a couple screws in the bottom. Just to hold the upper cage on it. See how it looks. Because it is getting close to bedtime. I have to get up for work in the morning. I'm not sure if you guys, I do have a full-time job. This company is not my source of income. Partly why I'm able to bring frames at such a reasonable price. I don't.
Oh, come on, Matt.
Well, I'm not trying to get rich off of drones. I know better. And I really like my goal is to have the money that I make on the drones, on my quads, support my traveling around to fly FPV. So, and that's about all my goal is. I do plan on designing a lot more frames and doing some crazy cool looking stuff like this one right here. So does it look pretty mean or what?
That looks pretty sweet, Matt.
The thing is going to be freaking crazy fast. So let me throw it on a scale. Well, hold on. Let me put the flight controller on it and then throw it on a scale real quick, because I want to see how much it weighs with, now that I've got the motors and everything. I'm guessing it's going to be like 110 grams ish, maybe 115.
Matt, I just want to throw in a little bit of extra praise for you.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
What's that?
So Matt dedicates a lot of time to his builds, designs each piece to accommodate the build. He's been at this a long time, and I've seen his frames firsthand, and no, they're durable as hell. In fact, on more than one occasion, we've had mid-airs where his frame has survived and mine didn't. So.
They weren't intentional. I'll tell you, they were not intentional.
But Matt's got some great frames on his hands, and I would highly recommend them.
Oh, well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Yeah, I do. And I take feedback. Like, I ask people about, things like, I ask you a lot of questions about your frame because I like how you did things with the Express, right? And I try to see what everybody else's frames are doing and, what are the things that people like about them. Hey, why do you fly this frame? As opposed to, because there's so many options out there. And if you can give some of the same things that people, want or definitely have on their must list, you make it into the running, right? Or the short list. So that my job is to at least get on people's radar. I'm hoping to sponsor a few pilots this year for racing. and then I'm also hoping to get a like a team pilot program going where if you like give people that are interested in the team pilot program a 5% code to hand out, and then once you know your code is used 10 times, you win, you know, maybe a t-shirt or a hat, or you know, if your code's used 20 times, maybe you win a frame, or you know, stuff like that, right? It's about the only way I can think of to gauge the actual influence.
So Matt, you and I once talked about deals on consignment.
Yeah.
So is that something you're still considering?
What, to carry your Star-Lord, you mean?
No, just not mine in particular, but just anyone's in general.
So to mention that, so Dave Andrews, Skadoosh, has asked me if I would be interested in carrying his frame, and I got a couple cut this time, but I didn't have the right files, and I knew they weren't the right files, and I risked some money anyway, and I kind of lost out on it. So I need to. I've gotten Dave's permission to go through and he gave me the drawing file, so I'm going to go and repair that file so it works for my cutter. Because I think part of it's the tolerances with the cutter he was using versus the cutter I'm using and things like that. But also the file type wasn't what my cutter was used to using. So he had to adapt it. But so I'm going to be carrying Dave's dingbat frame.
So that aside, what about people that are going to have their frames cut on their end and manage their own tolerances, right? And that's more about what I'm talking about with the consignment is just carrying a quantity and managing the resale, so that way they don't have to.
So you're saying if somebody
carry the product.
If somebody was to give me a packaged product, you mean, to sell?
Right. Exactly.
Okay. I mean, yeah. I mean, I would be more interested to do it for a friend or someone that I'm close with for now. But that is definitely in the works. I talked to Ivan and Neil. And
Ivan is from Migvice, is that?
Ivan is Lamone, FPV. You know Lamone. Races with Neil and Neil Merrick. Right. Ivan Efimov.
Right.
So they have that. They took the campfire racer and turned it into an open racer. So I might be carrying the open racer. I have their permission to carry the open racer on my site.
Right.
So I may be carrying their open racer as well, which may not be such a good idea if it's competing with my racer. But to be honest, my racer.
No. I mean, everybody's gonna stand by their brand.
So here is the. I don't think I've shown you this. This is the new Asp racer. So you saw the.
That's pretty slick.
You saw the Wyvern, which is the stretched X. This is the True X version, right? Easy swap arms. So you remove this outer screw and you loosen this inner screw, and the arm slides straight forward. So 3.5 minute arm swap at a race. I had somebody time me. So definitely doable in between runs.
Yeah.
It'll fit the 20x20 or 30x30 stack. As you can see, I've got a 20x20 in here. The 30x30 is close to the camera, but not touching the camera. I had one build where the 30x30 was big, and I had to invert the camera and then go into the camera settings and invert it in there, but that wasn't a huge deal. But this is the one that I'm hoping is so I kind of have a business plan, right? I'm trying to hit each niche with a quad designed with my thought and like just the all the things that I have picked up input from people about what they like about designs, what they don't like about designs, what they like about my designs, that kind of thing. And I have made I want to get into the chase footage market. All right. So I created this. This is a big boy. So you're seeing it on me. This is a 6-inch. Okay. Big top plate, nice carvings, easily fits all of your gear, 5mm arms, tons of motor protection. This is a 28X motor. And this part here, Star-Lord, I think you'll like. So this is the FPV cam mount here, these two little holes. All right. And then up top, this is where our GoPro or our HD cam is going to go. These screws here, this screw here is actually a hold down screw. And then this one back here is a hinge screw. And this whole thing with your FPV cam and your HD cam will tilt together and then lock into position.
You can match your GoPro angle with your
FPV cam without having to swap GoPro mounts. So say you're doing chase footage at a drift meet, and you're going from the amateur class to the pro class, and you need to go a little faster, right? So you're going to need to increase your angle. But you don't have to swap out a GoPro mount in between rounds or have a second rig with the second GoPro mount, right? You just tilt that back. And then there is a little bit of slight independent adjustability here. It's kind of hard to see unless I can get maybe I can get my finger behind it.
Right, but most of that compensation can be made up in video editing.
Right. Well, I mean, some people don't fly with the same angle with the FPV cam as the Hero, right? So I gave that little bit you've got a 10-degree adjustability off of whatever your GoPro angle is set to. So, but this is a big boy. I'm hoping, like I said, I'm hoping to get a little bit of foot in the door. I don't think I'm going to sell a whole bunch of them, but maybe I'll sell a couple. I talked to Troy Nakeen at Quad Standard Labs, and he said let him know when I've got the prints and everything done for it, and he will see if he has any interest from his clients, because he does a lot of filming clients, building Sicarios and Ichabods and all kinds of stuff like that for him. So, but that's what I got right now for new stuff. Like I said, and the Mutiny HD, which is kind of sort of new-ish. It's got the little skull and crossbone camera mounts for the Mutiny logo there. My Hero mount that I've got with the little pry back to slip your Hero in and lock it down. A little more room it's got room for the DJI cam in the back. When I designed the Mutiny, I made it as tight around everything as possible, so it would be lighter, because that was kind of the trend. Now HD is the trend, and heavier quads are not a big deal. So I'll bring back the Nemesis for that reason. And but yeah, I'll finish up the build on this later. I've got it kind of where I want it, so all I need to do is figure out the camera. I'll probably end up buying a brand new Runcam Split Nano, just because I don't want to borrow it off of another quad, because I've got it on 2 quads, but I don't want to strip those down. And then I've got like we had talked about, the battery cable is going to come up here next to this standoff, or even zip tie right here on the battery strap. So I might make a 3D print that'll hold that there. But yeah, that's it. I will be doing, once I get the rest of the gear in, I may do a remaining build on it. Oh, I said I was going to get the weight, didn't I? What did I do with my scale? All right. Now I'm losing my mind. And my scale. It's a big.
That's all right. You'll find them soon.
There it is, way down here. I set it out of the way. Let me turn it around so you guys can see the numbers. I'll try to cover the screen glare here in a sec. All right.
All right, 0 grams.
137 with everything. 0. 137. So with the battery, it'll still be sub 250 once I get the camera and everything else on it. So I've just got a camera VTX and a Crossfire, and I'm going to use the Crossfire Nano VTX that mounts out with a 20 by 20 mount board with the Crossfire antenna that goes right on it, or Crossfire Nano that goes right on that.
So Matt, what is the importance of hitting that 250 gram mark?
Well, just because that's kind of where the regulations are going, right? If it's below 250 grams, it's a toy.
So is this a toy?
If with the battery it comes under 250 grams, technically, I believe it falls into that category, which was kind of my goal. So I figure, so it's 136 right now. I have this. If I go straight VTX, I'm going to use this Boxier Pico, Razer Pico 1200 TBL that I have. And it is very tiny. I bought it specifically for a tiny build. I'm probably going to have to build a camera adapter because it is very tiny and it doesn't have a camera mount, so I am going to have to build a camera adapter. But that on there will weigh, bring it up to 138. And then let me see if I can find my TBS gear real quick. Throw that on there. Because at a minimum, it's going to get a Crossfire Immortal T. And where's my Unify Nano? Crossfire Nano. Crossfire Nano, Crossfire Nano, Crossfire Nano antenna. There we go. Pro 32. Oh, you got one open already. All right. Throw that Pro 32 on there. So there is, I'll leave it in the bag for now. But there is the Nano, there is the adapter board. I won't put the wiring on it because the bags will compensate for that. And then a full-size Crossfire antenna.
Now throw a full-size battery on there. What are we talking about, 750?
What's that?
What are we talking about on the battery, 750?
650 is what I was minimum I was going to run, but I'm looking at some 3S 11 or 1000s, which I don't have with me. But let me see, what do I have here? I have a Tattoo 4S 1300. Let's throw that on there.
Tattoo 3S 1400 is already 250 grams.
Well, let's see. Yep, 289. So definitely we cannot. Well, this is a 4S as well. Let me see. I've got a.
Right. Absolutely.
Okay, here we go. So here's a 3S, which is what I'm going to be running, and this is a 1300 Tattoo. 259. So if I use a 1000 milliamp hour, it will be below the 250 mark.
That's damn close.
That is it, buddy.
And that's most of the equipment right there.
That's everything. except the Crossfire Nano RX, which I haven't thrown on there, which is 2.5 grams. I'm trying to open it now with TBS's crazy glue on their.
I mean, Matt, that's within margin.
Right, within margin of error.
Yeah.
So, all right, hold on. Here we go. There is the Crossfire. So, 146. And then a 100-gram battery puts it at 246. So, I'm there.
You're on it.
I like it. Perfect. And I can go to a 3mm bottom plate and get it and drop the weight quite considerably.
I think once you drop it down to 3mm, throw some props on there, prop nuts.
Yeah, and then people will definitely be able to go 4S and 1,000 milliamp hour battery. So yeah, man, I'm kind of excited now.
Listen, dude, I'm not gonna limit myself. I'll be honest.
Well, listen. This is, if you wanted to, you can. If you want to go nuts, like I said, these motors here on 3S with a 25 pitch prop or 2.5 pitch prop can produce 274 grams of thrust each. If my whole build is 250 grams, I have 6x the thrust that I need.
Right.
So I'm happy with it.
I would be too.
And I think I might skip the Foxeer Nano camera and put something else in there just so I don't have to design a mount for it. I'm kind of disappointed that it doesn't have...
You know what? I'm looking at a couple of those Pico cameras.
That's what this is. This is a Foxeer Razor Pico, and it does not have any mounting screws on the sides.
Hot glue.
I don't want it to look like a hot mess, though. This is a show quad. This is the example. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Matt.
If it's a little heavy, so be it.
And make it show sexy.
Yep. So I need matching 3D prints, matching GoPro mounts. It's got. Honestly, I think the frame by itself stands out. But that's my personal opinion, and I created it, so that's like a mama saying her baby's beautiful, in my opinion.
Well,
but
you saw how I felt about my frame, and but that's a topic for another discussion.
Yeah. But yeah, all right. So I'm gonna drop off live here, guy. I'm gonna end the stream. It's really late. I need to get up in the morning. Starlord, thanks for stopping by and talking to me while I do my build. I will have it hopefully within a week or by this weekend. Hopefully I'll have it up and tested. I need to order a RunCam split real quick. So might even pay for fast shipping.
All right, buddy.
All right, guys. Stream's over. Thanks for stopping by. For any of you that stopped by.